Hi, let's do a quick update on the 28 Ford Model A diecast. Hang in there.
So hi all, it's Skip from Skip's Messy Workbench, and I thought I would do an update on the 1928 Ford Model A, the die-cast version that I'm working on. It's not a difficult kit. It's really not. In fact, most of it looks like it's going to be screwed together. I'll tell you what the most time-consuming thing is, and it's the cleanup. There is a tremendous amount of cleanup on at least this kit. So I'm getting everything ready to get primed. So you can see I have the frame pretty well cleaned up. I have the rear end mounted in. I think you can see on the camera the shininess where I took a lot of the mold lines off and that stuff. So to do that, just need a good set of files. So I got a good set of hobby files, various shapes, sizes. That's one of the things I use, but also some of the items are fairly large, and then I convert over to my Dremel. And I'm just using a sanding disc on it. That seems to be doing the best job on it. So I'm cleaning up all the parts. Like this is the front wheel, one side of it. This is the other side of it, the front wheels, and back on, and let me just rotate my camera a little bit. Back on the, I thought I could rotate it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, back here I have some of the parts. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. I have some of the parts already on some sticks, getting ready for priming. So I want to get everything ready for prime before I do anything else. There's a couple of little sub-assemblies that get put together first, and so that's what I'll do there. Again, it looks like the cleanup is going to be the biggest part of this job, and that's fine. I'm not complaining. Believe me, it's not a complaint. So I got the luggage rack. I just did the luggage rack cleanup, and this stuff here I'm gonna also be rubbing it down with some Quad Zero extra fine steel wool, and that's what the manufacturer specifies, to rub everything down with this before painting. So we'll get that done. But you could see, like on the radiator here, and I took one off already, but on the radiator itself, you can see there's I think you can see it here, there's a mold mark right here. Well, I'm not going to file that off. I'm going to use my Dremel. And all I do is I come in with my Dremel, and I'm going to make some noise now, so I'll deaden this thing, but I come in with the Dremel, and I basically, on the Dremel, I take this thing off of here. Sorry about that. So I basically just come in with the Dremel and start knocking that down. Until I get that mold mark off of there, and then I'll go over it slightly with a file just to smooth it out a little bit. And like I had said, I'll buff that down yet with some Quad Zero. It's the finest steel wool that I have, at least. I think it's the finest you can get. So I'll be working on that. You could see that this hood half here, I think I'm zoomed out yet, or zoomed in yet. Let me see. Yeah, let me zoom out here a little bit. You can see that this hood has a tremendous amount of flash on it. And when I get this off, to get that off, sometimes I just take my needle nose plier and I just take it and bend it basically until it breaks off. And I found that that's probably the easiest way to get rid of the big pieces. When I have other pieces, I'll even use a small diagonal, and these are cheap diagonals. I get these at Harbor Freight. They're really cheap, so I don't care if I ruin them. Just get more. And I'll come in here and then just snip it off. And that makes it easier also to try to get, see, some of this stuff won't snip off because it's thick. It's really, actually, some of this stuff is actually very, very thick as far as flash goes and over mold. So I'll run the Dremel around this stuff here and get that cleaned up. So that's where I'm at on this. I'm getting everything cleaned up. I have quite a bit of it cleaned up already. The plastic is not going to be an issue. In fact, the plastic doesn't need a whole lot of cleanup. But we'll get that all cleaned up, and then I have the body halves. The body halves and the roof. And when I first look at this stuff, it's interesting because when I first look at it, it's like, oh, this doesn't need much cleanup at all. Until I really start to look at it, and it's like, oh my, yes it does. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of edges that need to be cleaned up and straightened out. Again, not complaining, man. I think it's going to be a really nice kit when it's done. That's where I'm at with this guy right now. I'm going to take these mold marks off of the roof in here, and also those numbers. Those I'll take out. I don't like to see that in any of my models. So I can tell you that I decided on a color scheme for it. The fenders, the running boards are going to be in black enamel. The running boards I'll do in like a rubber black, along with the floor mats and the pedals. That'll be in a rubber type mat. The seats will be in a beige color, most likely like a saddle color or some leather saddle color. And then the body itself, I was watching for like the 6th or 7th time, excuse me, the movie Once Upon a Time in America. If you've never seen it, it's on par with the Godfather series. I like it actually somewhat better, but I plan to do the body in a maroon color. I saw one in that movie that was a maroon color. Too bad they drove it off the pier and into a lake. But I saw that in there, and there's not a lot of detail on it because some of the detail up around in here on the one that I saw was also black. But this is going to basically be maroon, and then also around the roof edges, and then this will be a flat black on the top there. So that's where I'm headed with this. And I just wanted to do a quick update because this is going to take me maybe a day or two yet. I haven't worked in the shop in a couple of days, mainly because it's been so cold here in Pennsylvania, and you probably hear my furnace blowers going right now because it's still cold. But it's February, so what do you expect, right? So anyway, that's where I'm at. Oh, the engine. I have the engine together, and I had to literally machine the head in order to get it to lay as flat as I even have it right now. The engine's going to be in like a green color. Back in 28, 30, 29, 30, 31, the Ford Model A's engines were a green color. So that'll be doing that. And then I'll put a little bit of detail on it because of the starter and some of the exhaust and the intakes and manifolds. The spark plugs are there. There's not a lot of detail on these, and that's fine. That's okay. So it's an interesting build. Like I said before, this is the first time I'm ever doing a die-cast kit, and other than the cleanup, like I said, it's looking like it's really nice. I'm looking forward to having it done. So that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to get back to work here and start getting the rest of these parts all cleaned up so that I can get some primer on them and see how the acrylic water-based paints are going to stick to die cast. I don't think it's going to be a problem, especially if I rub everything down real good and with steel wool. So we'll see. All right, so hey, thanks for hanging in there with me, and I will keep you up to date. The next time you see this, I'm sure it'll be in primer, and some of the sub-assemblies will be together. And then also, I'll be doing an update on the other project that I'm working on, which is the B9 robot from Lost in Space. I started breadboarding some of the electronics I want to use in it, and so I'll show that to you folks. That'll be in the next video, maybe a day or 2 or 3. So anyway, hey, I'm rambling on again like I always do. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, give me a thumbs up, would you please? Really helps the algorithm, helps the channel, helps get people. Give me a like, and if you're not subscribed, smack that subscribe button. It's absolutely free, costs you absolutely nothing. If you look at my history, I only release maybe 2 videos a month, if that sometimes, so I won't bug you a lot. So anyway, hey, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.